My 34M girlfriend 29F expects me to pay for everything. I have been with my girlfriend for nearly a year now. At the beginning, we would make equal efforts to pay the bills whenever eating out. Then the effort from her end came to a stop, where she would often joke that she wasn't even carrying enough money in her wallet to offer to pay, etc. I have continued paying for the majority, but more recently, I mentioned I would like her to show that she is willing to contribute more. She didn't like this. She said that she thought we had become a more intimate, closer couple. I didn't know what this really meant. Sometimes when we go away I will cover everything. Hotels, transport, food, the full lot. Sometimes I will let her know the cost of the hotel or travel for a half split. But I still maintained paying for all other costs like food and transportation costs without hesitation. She makes it appear like I am not doing enough. I am not sure what else to do. I am not prepared to pay 100% for everything. I would like to see her make more of an effort to contribute. Even if I reject and still pay for it, at least I know that she's made an effort to want to. But I just don't see Thay at all. She says that I am keeping a close tab on when she pays and when she doesn't. But I don't. I just don't see enough effort from her end in my opinion. I don't ask for a 50-50 split. But I also don't want a 100/0. I feel a middle ground would be better. However, I have always covered more expenses than her. Considerably. So it's got to the point now where she's made me scared of not paying through this pressure. For background, I do not come from a wealthy background. I only make a small amount more than her. She has always said we can earn money together. But I don't know how I am meant to save money for a family one day, etc. if I am made to pay for everything. We get on well everywhere else. It's just when it comes to paying. She doesn't like having to pay. But then whilst I pay, I feel like I would appreciate some reciprocation. Are my thoughts valid? I want to edit this post to add that she has compared the way I treat my parents and how I pay for everything for them without question, and that she expects that is the way I treat her too. But my parents are seniors and bring in very little income. I don't think the two are comparable. My GF earns steady income. Additional edit. She has never cooked, etc. She is not very independent. Since your pay is roughly the same, she should be paying half. Just dump her and find someone who isn't using you. I think it's less about your GF's income status and more about her expectations in a male partner. It's time for a serious discussion about managing finances in a long-term relationship. It's never okay to assume that the guy would pay for everything. And if the guy chooses to pay, it should be his choice and not one he was coerced into making. Sounds like my ex-wife. My advice: leave. It'll eat at you and cause resentment, which turns to hate. It also eroded my mental health to the point that I could barely function. In the year after my ex moved out, I went from being down to £0 in my account before every payday to having a $3,000 surplus. She's taking advantage of you. It should be 50-50. Inquire about why she only wants you to pay. Does she have very traditional values and expectations? Does she believe men should do all the providing? If she does this align with your values? Do you want to fall into traditional roles? Does she think her maintenance to look nice means you should contribute more? This is not someone I would want to be in a relationship with. It sounds like she's using you and isn't prioritizing you in the relationship if she doesn't care enough to contribute to it. Later down the line, if you buy a house together, will she also want you to cover the entire bill? Probably. Set some boundaries ASAP. If she cannot comply, I'd suggest breaking up. Your thoughts are absolutely valid. This here, I mentioned I would like her to show that she is willing to contribute more. She didn't like this. She said that she thought we had become a more intimate, closer couple. Is a key thing for me. To me it looks like you will be expected to pay for about everything. I mean, look at it. She expects this now after a year, so I can only imagine what she might expect when you would be married, have a family. Just comes down to your values if you are okay with that. The way you write you are not, and that is completely okay. Not saying she is wrong also. If she wants this, she just needs to find a partner that is okay with it. You, or not. Financial incompatibility is a thing like sexual incompatibility. It's sad, but it is what it is. These things also give me a bad feeling. She makes it appear like I am not doing enough, so it's got to the point now where she's made me scared of not paying through this pressure. That's not healthy, man. Not at all. You've got to make it very clear to her what you want, expect, and find out what she thinks. Also, when things would progress into married life. Having a family. I mean, you are together 1 year. Maybe that is going too far, but still. Better have clarity now if you can get it than waste your time. Just my thoughts. All the best, man, and take care. Female here. If you are dating an adult, they should be able to understand that typically people will want to take care of their parents. Unless you are sharing finance or having a family with her, she should not expect the same financial treatment as your parents. She's not making any senses. Financially, compatibility is important. Don't proceed even if she's perfect in everything else. Oh, this is not good. I've been in this same situation. At first I thought she is shy to pay or offer to pay. I communicated this few times. But nothing changed. Once I stopped paying, breakup happened. She was extremely passive-aggressive and cold during the breakup. It's like I never knew who she was. We dated for 1.5 years and broken up like 2 months ago. She jumped on Bumble a week after a breakup. Grin. I went on few dates a week ago and was shocked then a girl did not let me buy a second round of drinks and said that's on her. Don't listen to the story of hers. She just does not want to spend money on you. Selfish people create a lot of excuses. Then the effort from her end came to a stop, where she would often joke that she wasn't even carrying enough money in her wallet to offer to pay, etc. Not to be mean, but when this started is really when it should have been dealt with. And vastly different views on finances are one of the biggest relationship breakers there are. You two need to talk right away about this and come to a decision. Because otherwise you're just wasting your time. She is a scab. Scabs are nasty. Kick her to the curb. Where do you see your relationship with her going long term? If you want to marry her, then expect to pay for everything. If you can live with that, fine. If not, move on. This isn't the 1920s. There is no reason why a couple who have been together for a year should not be paying 50-50 for everything. Unless you were wealthy or making like 5x what she is. Neither of which is the case. She is just being a selfish taker. Which kind of tells you right there exactly what kind of person she is. I paid for the first date with my wife. She made it very clear after that she wanted an even split. We're both professionals and it is 2024. I would cut down the opportunities where this comes up. Less eating out, for example. When she doesn't want to pay, she can't go out that often. Set yourself a limit for what you are willing to pay and set aside an amount of money you'd like to save every month. When she can do with her money what she wants, you need to be able to do so too. Does she reciprocate your efforts in her own way? Examples being making you comfortable when she comes over, cooking dinners for you without even asking, or even massage you? If she does not and still expects you to pay, then she is only taking advantage of you. Her argument about how you treat your parents. Your parents raised you, and you are always welcome in their home. So it is not a crime to pay for them. Unlike a partner who expects everything and gives you minimum to nil. If she is taking advantage of you, you need to end your relationship with her. You have already spoken to her once about this and she showed you how she felt about it. I would sit her down and say, "This relationship has become unbalanced for me. I have expressed a boundary to you, that I am unable and unwilling to pay for everything. We don't earn much different and you're not contributing. I no longer want to be in this relationship." Problem solved. Then break up with her? A woman who has the mindset that the guy should pay for anything most commonly don't change their mind on that. If you refuse to break up with her, then just accept it. People like her don't just move away from that mindset or change. Some women like to be taken care of. Some men like to take care of women. It could be due to how she was raised or culture, etc. Doesn't mean she is a gold digger. If she likes to be taken care of and you don't like to take care of her in that way, you guys just don't match. I like to be taken care of. Don't expect it, but I like it. Because that's all I know from my culture and family. How I was raised by my dad and brothers too. But it's never 100/0. I tend to pay for other things. Like drinks, tickets to a festival, the cab, groceries, or buy things for his home. Sometimes I take him out for dinner, etc. At the end of the month we spend a similar amount, despite him having a higher salary. But he almost always pays for dinner because it makes me feel taken care of and it makes him feel great. He does often try to take the more expensive bills since he knows he makes more than me, but we still spend a similar amount. But I do pay other things. So you could split the costs differently. Instead of splitting the bill. Splitting the bill gives me the ick unless it's with friends IDKY. So we tend to pay in turns. You can split what you're paying for, instead of splitting the bill in the middle. Stop taking her out and going on trips. See how she reacts. She very much wants you to take care of 100% of the financials, which is not what you signed up for. Time to have the actual conversation, instead of tiptoeing around it. Okay, so she doesn't cook. She is not independent. She doesn't want to pay half or even part of the things you do. She is emotionally manipulative. I don't see the attraction, man. All she seems to have is assuming a nice figure which will not last over the years. I think you need to rethink your relationship with this girl if she is not willing to live up to being an equal partner. Also, you have to ask yourself, what is she really bringing into the relationship?
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.